Dear students, today we will see the string problem itself. On the day also I take the string problems. Today also you see this is also easy problem only. Just what it means, you have to see the diagram, refer the diagram. If you understand the diagram, nothing here to worry. See what problem here. See the question. The strings A, B, C, D has a fixed point A, D carrying a mass of 12 kg at B and a mass of m kg at C. AB is inclined at 60 degree to the horizontal. BC is inclined at 30 degree to the horizontal. Find tension, or they will ask us find the value for m, or show that m is equal to 4. Like this also they will ask the problem. Here you see the proof. T1, T2, T3 with the tension along BA, BC, CD respectively. B is in equilibrium. Now you see the diagram. See here what Sima. This is A, B is down, A, B, C, C, and this is D. Okay girls, here what they have given. B is in equilibrium subject to the force of T1. B is in equilibrium. B is in equilibrium subject to the force of T1, T2 and 12 kg. T1, T2 and 12 kg. By Lami's theorem, what we have, you know this, T1 by sin 90 is equal to T2 by sin 90 plus 60, because here Sima, here how much for angle of 90 degree, here you have given 60 degree. 90 minus 60 you will get 30. So T2 divided by sin 90 plus 60 and T3 divided by sin 90 plus 30. Here 90 plus 30, 90 plus 60. Okay girls, T1, T2, T3, this one you know already, so I am skipping this. T1 divided by sin 90, T2 divided by sin 90 by Lami's theorem. You have to apply Lami's theorem and you are finding this. Then sin 90, what my value? 1. T2 sin 90 plus 60 cos 60. You know sin 90 plus theta cos theta. Likewise sin 90 plus 60 cos 60. Then T2 sin 90 plus 30 cos 30. T1 is equal to T2 divided by cos 60 value is 1 by 2. Then here T3 not here what 12, here 12 kg. So you will get 12 divided by, don't put here also T3, here also you put as T3 not T in the, instead of T3 you put here 12 itself, 12 by cos 30. Then 12, because B is in equilibrium subject to the force of magnitude, what they have given, T1, T2 and 12 kg. So T3 they have not mentioned, so 12 by root 3 by 2. Then you take first tension 1 and this one. So what you will get, T1 is equal to 12 divided by root 3 by 2. You multiply, you will get this one value. And as usual, you know T1 value you are finding, then like this you are finding T2 value also. You will get the T1 and T2 value. Okay girls, next what you have to do after finding T1 and T2, you refer that steps, you will understand. Then next what, in B equilibrium you are taking. Then next at point C, the force of magnitude or T2, T3 and m kg, you are marking as 1 m kg. So what, as usual you know this one also, T2 divided by sin 90 by sin 90 plus 30, T3 divided by T3 divided by sin 90, then m kg divided by sin 90 plus 60. By Lami's theorem, you apply the Lami's theorem. T2 divided by sin 90 plus 30, t3 divided by sin 90 and m divided by sin 90 plus 60. Sin 90 plus 30 is cos 30, 3 sin 90 value is 1, then m by cos 60 value is 1 by 2. As usual, you find t2 t3 value, equals you find t2 and t3 values. From 1 and 2 you keep the t1 and t2 here was the equation number 1 and t2 and t3 is equation number 2. From 1 and 2 1 and 2 t2 is equal to t2, so you take t2 is equal to t2 means what value are getting, you see m root 3 is equal to 4 root 3 will get cancelled, m is equal to 4. Okay girls, these steps are very easy. Only here problem is diagram. If you understand the diagram only, you will get the appropriate answer. Then you see next equilibrium of a particle under several forces, or if they will ask us also, or else they will ask us prove that the necessary and sufficient condition equilibrium of a particle under several forces, or prove that the necessary and sufficient condition for a system of coplanar forces to keep a particle in equilibrium, then the sum of the combined forces into mutual perpendicular direction in the plane are 0. You see here proof. Here we are finding the necessary and sufficient part. First necessary part, you see, let the forces be f1 vector, f2 vector, etc., fn vector. Then the resultant forces acting on the particle, is f1 plus f2 plus f3 plus etc. Then the particle f1 plus f2 plus f3 plus fn. Then therefore if the particle is in equilibrium, what you know as usual, f1 vector plus f2 vector plus f3 vector plus etc. up to fn vector is equal to 0. You keep it as equation number 1. Let I vector comma j vector be the unit vector into perpendicular direction. Then you multiply equation 1 I and j by dot product. See, so what you will get, f1 vector plus f2 vector plus etc. plus fn vector dot I vector equal to 0. Then you have to multiply by I vector and j vector only for first equation. So what you will get, f1 plus f2 plus etc. fn dot j vector is equal to 0. So you keep you multiply I vector in f1 plus f2. So what you will get, f1 by I vector plus f2 I vector plus etc. plus fn dot I vector is equal to 0. Likewise f1 dot j vector plus f2 dot j vector plus etc. fn dot j vector is equal to 0. If the particle is in equilibrium, then the sum of combined forces in two mutual or perpendicular direction in the plane are 0. Both see what value are getting. If the sum of combined forces, if they combine also, they will get the value as 0. That is the necessary part you have proved. Then you see the sufficient part. What sufficient part? Now we take the sum of the combined force. Sufficient part means from converse, from last to first. Sufficient part, you see girls. Now we take the sum of the combined forces or 0. So from last to first you are getting of necessary part. No, from necessary part you are getting from last to first. So what you will get, f1 dot I vector dot f1 dot I vector plus f2 dot I vector plus fn dot I vector. Then f1 dot j vector plus f2 dot j vector plus fn dot j vector. Here you see f1 plus f2 plus etc. plus fn whole j dot I vector equal to 0. Then f1 plus f2 plus etc. plus fn dot j vector equal to 0. The resultant the resultant force either perpendicular to both I and j or 0. Here yourself you mark, girls, F1 I dot j vector, both I and j vector we combining, no? So here itself you put at F1 I vector dot j vector plus F2 dot I vector dot j vector. They have not mentioned here. So here itself you combine, because it's a combined force. Here itself you mark it as I dot j vector. Then here you will put it as j dot I vector, combined forces. So you are putting like that, I dot j vector and j dot I vector. The resultant forces either perpendicular both I and j or is 0 Thus F1 plus F2 plus etc plus Fn vector equal to 0. Just you refer, this is not necessary, just for reference they have given. Next also you see, just you refer this also, limiting equilibrium of a particle on an inclined plane. Limiting equilibrium of a particle on an inclined plane. That has gone, I think so. Just you write limiting equilibrium of a particle on an inclined plane. Suppose the particle of weight W lying on a rough plane inclined at an angle alpha to the horizontal is subject to a force P along the plane in the upward direction. If the equilibrium is limiting, then find P. What again I will repeat. Suppose that the part has been cut, you write that. Suppose the particle of weight W lying on a rough plane inclined at an angle alpha to the horizontal is subject to a force P along the plane in the upward direction. Here you mark that they have given upward direction. If the equilibrium is limiting, then find P. You see the proof. The following two cases of limiting equilibrium. Here you see case 1. The particle has a tendency to slide up the plane. First you see the proof, case 1 here. The particle has a tendency to slide up the plane. Here the particle has a work that it has a tendency that it can slide up to the plane. In case 2, what you are doing, the particle has a tendency to slide down. Here up and down, you are in this case 1 and case 2 you are finding that one. First you see the case 1. In case 1, what? Consider the forces. By 2 case you are finding this one. Proof the case 1. Consider the forces acting on the particle along the plane. They are first what? No, we are considering the forces. What the forces? Weight, force P, then frictional forces. For weight you see component of a weight W sin alpha down the plane. Then force P, the force P up the plane. Component of weight is sin alpha is down the plane and the force P is up the plane. Then frictional force, what is frictional force? F down the plane, where F has its maximum value. It's a frictional force only what they have given. Frictional force F down the plane where F has its maximum value. So F is equal to mu r. Maximum value F is equal to mu r. This is like a book work, girls. Just you refer that F is equal to mu r, or F is equal to mu W cos alpha, where mu is the coefficient of friction and force is equal to weight plus frictional force. That is weight what you have, W sin alpha plus F. W sin alpha plus F value what you have, mu into W cos alpha. Therefore P is equal, force is P, no, so P is equal to W, the W is common, you take outside, so sin alpha plus mu cos alpha. Then you see the case 2, that's all case 1. Then case 2, to move downward the frictional forces up the plane. For moving the downward of frictional forces, you frictional forces, then you up the plane. So weight W is equal to W sin alpha is equal to force watt ma P, then frictional force F. P is equal to P value W is, the P you have to find P, so W sin alpha minus F you will get. W sin alpha minus F is what you find before itself, you find that mu into W cos alpha. So P is equal to, you take W as common, sin alpha minus mu cos alpha. That's all girls, that's the book work like that. It's very easy, you would have understand. If you have any doubt means you can ask in our comment box or in the YouTube channel. Thank you girls. I've given no notes also. I will send the notes in your group also, and I will send here also girls. You ask your friends and note down that I have sent in group also. Thank you girls.